Another dark log from the diary of a griever named John Weaver would just be. What's going on, guys? It's about 13 after midnight. It is February 14th, 2026 on a Saturday. And yes, I still haven't gotten to sleep in about a couple hours. Well, things happen anyway. Say, keeping track with the belly aching from Trump, Bondi, and everybody else trying to figure out what the hell they're going to be doing at this point. Not to mention blaming Democrats, the same old bullshit all the time. Trump still wants to gather all the voting information for himself so he can control the game. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. Bondi's still pissed because she got grilled by the Democrats and the Republicans were just accepting her, but the Democrats were basically reeling her over a coal. And she wants apologies because they ruined and damaged Trump's reputation. Well, they can tell him to bite him on that one. She's going to be that much of a stuck-up and kiss ass. Well, she deserved it anyway. Meanwhile, Minneapolis is still dealing and reeling with maybe some people leaving. I'm not talking about the immigrants or anybody else. I'm talking about the agents going away, but they're still there. It's still affecting other cities. I made some videos concerning about my strong concerns of changing the voter format and playbook like crazy. Poll tax on the country. Means we're spending tax dollars and we're spending our money to get ID just so we can qualify to vote. Said before in my videos, legally speaking, he can't change the damn shit. He's not supposed to. But apparently he's still trying to anyway. California, we do allow mail-in ballots. And for the ballots I know about, you take a pen, usually blue or black ink, color in the circle of your choice, and if you're going to the poll and doing it there, you just stick it in an envelope, they stick it in a box, and that's it, you're gone. Well, don't forget the little sticker. Well, when they get the paperwork to the mail, it means you can still do the mail-in because they have a return address on the return envelope. Postmark, so you don't have to put a stamp on a damn thing. But it does need to be registered and recorded. So, I get it. I'm going to look at it. Do my little tchotchkes on it. Put it into the mailbox and hope that the United States Postal Service hasn't turned Trumpian and deny my voting right. Because I did what was easier and convenient for me to vote instead of walking walking to the nearest poll, which will be either about 3 or 4 miles away from this place. Of course, if the senior center is still doing it, and it's about 1.5 miles or more, I would still have to walk. But to put a poll tax on people, when a president starts saying that I want to control everything, including how you vote, that's like, no, you don't. And you're not going to get my data, and you're not going to use my vote to play it your way in your fucking game. My choice, not yours, asshole. States' rights, states' implied rights, according to the Constitution, and we got amendments for that one. But no, this asshole wants to make it fucked. He wants to put in the poll tax by putting in the SAVE Act, which will change everything. Just so he can keep it rigged by his way. And the Republicans will follow him. I can't trust these bastards. Not one of them. I don't care if we got a few turncoats or not. I don't trust any of them. At least not the generation or not the batch we've got in Congress right now as it is. And don't you find it funny that sometimes you'll find some of the Republicans getting their own selves backstabbed by each other? And yet blame the Democrats for it. They get majority, but they blame the lower guys for it. Because they don't want to accept responsibility, transparency, or be accountable to anything. Not even to the public who voted their ass in. That's why I keep blaming the voters on this one. You voted the dummies in there. You voted the schmucks. The power-hungry assholes. This is what you get. You want a populism? Welcome to it. Guys never bothered to study history and don't give a shit. You just want what's yours. And there was that hearing happening about this one particular State Department position that was open, and this one guy who looks like a doofus comes in there. Oh, that's my white power, man. I mean, we whites are disappearing. Don't you understand that? And I blame everybody else for that one. It was colored and everything else, but it's white power. And come on, please give me the job. I'll do a good job. I'm a white person. Come on. You're white. I'm white. Come on. Fucker didn't get through. And Trump picked his ass. Because he's a racist. Trump's a racist. The other schmuck was a racist. Tim Miller. I was going through my memory files on Facebook. Every so often it'll show up something interesting. And back in 2017... somebody wrote an article concerning about the old doughboy, the old deputy chief of staff who had a little bit more hair years ago instead of what his baldness looks like. Looks like a cue ball these days. But no, back then he still looked ugly enough. And they showed a high school picture of him. This guy was a racist and working. And he was spewing off some articles back in 2017. He was doing his shit, and now he's having fun with his shit. And we voted him in back in November 2024. Midterms are coming up, and let's hope and pray that the Democrats will win both chambers of Congress. Because we're going to need them to get these assholes in the executive branch under control. That being said,